What's up, everybody, and welcome into episode number 2 of Bama After Dark. I am Jake Thomas by myself, but I think that could change in the next couple of weeks. We'll see how it rolls. But anyway, thank you all for joining. It's been an awesome week. Had a fairly good amount of people watch and reach out after the first episode. Thank you for that. Really enjoyed it. Hopefully, I continue to get better doing these and everything. And just ignore the stuff on the back on the side over here that for some reason did not go off of from when we did as it said dark back last Thursday. So we're not talking about any of that today. What we're talking about is we're getting to a deeper look into Alabama's football schedule. First game, everybody already knows it. 2:30 down in Tallahassee, Florida. FSU's on the docket, and boy, this thing it's going to be hot. I mean, it's 2:30 game. It's going to be hot. How does Alabama handle the cramps that's going to come and just the heat and everything leading up to that week? But the game itself, it's an intriguing matchup. You've got Thomas Castellanos against what's more than likely going to be Ty Simpson. Castellanos had an up and down year at Boston College last year. He transfers out, ends up in Florida State, and I think he's a good quarterback. The kicker on this one is who they hired their offense coordinator. They went out and got Gus Malzahn, and no ifs, ands, buts about it, guys. Gus Malzahn, when he was at Auburn, he won 3 games against Nick Saban. Now, I don't know why they fired him. Win 9 games every single year and get fired, I don't understand the thought process, and beat Saban 3 out of 5 years or 6 years, something like that. So he was either above 500 or at 500 level when it comes to playing Nick Saban and beating Nick Saban. So now he's at Florida State. Mike Norvell, up and down career. I think he's a good coach. Last year, I think it was an anomaly for this Florida State team, but they've got some good pieces. They went out and got some players, but I think Alabama has something to prove with this team this year, and it all starts in the first game. We can't go out and look sloppy in the first game. Ty Simpson can't go out and look sloppy in the first game because I mean everybody's already talking about Keon Russell, which rightfully so. But Ty has got to establish that this is his team and it's his team moving forward, not anybody else's. He's going to have to put this team on his back and pretty much step up and be that leader and say, this is my team. We're going to go as I go. I'm going to get better each and every week. And don't listen to any of the naysayers, what they're saying about him. Because if he has a terrible first game in this game, especially, and Alabama loses, you're going to hear the rumblings of a Keelan Russell. You're going to hear rumblings of an Alex Mack. Somebody else. I believe in Ty Simpson. I'm a firm believer that the dude's paid his dues, and he's going to be something special. The game itself, I think, it's going to come down to offensive line play. Which offensive line holds out for the entire 60 minutes, and I'm taking Alabama's offensive line on that. Do have a few question marks that need to be figured out on the offensive line, but for the most part, you got Kaden Proctor, you got Jaden Roberts, you got Parker Brailsford. You have a solid offensive line. Figure out right tackle, you're going to be fine, and then a left guard, you're going to be fine. Everything's going to be good there. I'm giving Alabama a percentage about a 65%. I believe about 65% confidence that they win this first game in Tallahassee. It's going to be a challenge, but I think overall talent is going to play a factor, especially in the fourth quarter. I think late in the third, early in the fourth, Alabama is going to pull out to a 2 touchdown to 17-point lead. and they don't look back at that point, and they don't let it slip away. Second game, not really much to speak on this one. It is at home. ULM, honestly, let's just be real. 2007, 2007 is not going to happen again here. It's not. Talent level is way too high, and ULM they're okay, but they're not going to upset a highly ranked team, and they're not going to do it against Alabama, especially their first game at home. Here's another game though. Cannot look sloppy. Sloppy in the first half, you're going to start hearing the rumblings and the boo crowd. But I think by this game, it may take another game, but I think you're going to start seeing this offense and how powerful this offense is going to be under Ryan Grubb. I'm so glad he's back at offense coordinator. Last offense coordinator, I thought he did a fairly decent job. There were some things he could have improved on, but Ryan Grubb knows how to efficiently run a Kalen DeBoer type offense, and I believe he's going to do that. You're going to see a lot more, I believe, of the running game in this game here against ULM. May see the starters come off the field in the second half and see some other guys playing, get some experience for the younger guys. I would definitely love that because they need experience help, especially when injuries start playing a big factor in the second half of the season. Third game, or going back to Yale Monroe, I'm putting this at a 98% chance that Alabama wins. I would say 99%. There's still that 1%, 98, 99% chance. I just don't think that they're going to lose this game at all. Wisconsin comes in the week after. Now, if everybody remembers the Wisconsin game last year, we went there, and they the first drive. I mean, they sought it to us. Tyler Van Dyke was just moving the ball efficiently. He's not there no more. I'm not really sure who their new quarterback is, but they have a solid team, and they I'm not going to put anything past them. Luke Fickell. That's what I was trying to think of. Luke Fickell, their coach. Luke Fickell is a great coach. He's kind of got into a little situation here, but when he was in Cincinnati, he played Alabama one year, and I think it was like 24-10 when that final was when we played Cincinnati. Alabama really didn't play their best game, but I think that was a product of how good Luke Fickell is as a coach. Going to this game, I think defensively, this game they didn't make a statement because that first drive, I still remember it. And if Van Dyke wouldn't have got hurt, how would that change that game? Because they went right down the field that first drive before he got hurt. If he would have stayed in the game, would it maybe change the outcome of that game? I don't know. I have no idea. It's unfortunate seeing somebody get hurt, and I hate that injuries happen. But that sticks in my mind. So, I feel like defense needs to be sharp in this game. They need to be reading the quarterback's eyes real good. They need to be, mixing up blitz packages. Kane Womack mixing up blitz packages, and I know he don't blitz a ton, but I feel like you're going to see a different defense, different animal this year defensively. This defense is just stacked. But I'm going to put this at a 70. I'm going to say 75% chance that Alabama wins. My confidence level. So I will. I think I may leave it at may bump it up to 78, but right now 75%. I don't think Alabama is going to lose. This game right here, even though it kind of feels like a trap game because what the game we have coming up 2 weeks after that. But the difference is, thankfully, Alabama has an off week ahead of time. Get that off week the week after, then we go to Georgia. Now, guys, I can sit here and talk all day about this Georgia matchup. And the only thing I want to say is two kids made writ their name in Crimson Flame last year against Georgia in Tuscaloosa. Ron Williams and Xavier Brown. And what else can I say about that? Ron Williams, we all know what kind of special player he is, what he can do when he's in the open space and when he has the ball in his hands. And Xavier Brown is just a machine, just a monster, a true freshman, and had the biggest, interception, probably, unless it's going to be in a national championship game or maybe SEC championship game. At that moment, it was the most important interception up to that point in his career. As of right now, he's probably going to have a lot more. That kid is special. But this game right here, it's going to take everybody being in sync. It's going to take everybody playing up to their level and being on their game from the first snap of the ball to the very last. I know there's guys that's going to be doing that. I think everybody's going to be doing that. Defense is going to play sharp. Gunnar Stockton, he's probably going to be named the quarterback at Georgia. The kid threw for over 250 yards in their bowl loss. And I think he had 2 touchdown passes. I think he did throw an interception. But other than that, that kid is good. I really think Gunnar Stockton is going to be good for Georgia. With that said, I think Alabama, if they get past Georgia here, they can run the table and be undefeated. Now, it's hard to be undefeated in the SEC. So I'm going to put this at an even split at 50-50. I think if Alabama's going to lose a game, it's going to be to Georgia. If they lose, it's not going to be a barn burner. It's our one team winning by 2 touchdowns or more than that. I think it's going to be like 3 points, 3 to 6 points. It's going to be that close. And we all know how Kirby is when it comes to playing Alabama. And it's Saban, but we kind of talked about it last year. Is it a Nick Saban thing or is it an Alabama thing? And after the win last year, it kind of seems like it's an Alabama thing to him. Kirby's probably one of the best coaches in the game now, but he's got that mental block. He wants to beat Alabama so bad. And I figured it would have cleared his mind once he beat Alabama in the national championship game a few years ago. But some reason it didn't. And, it just, I don't know if it's just a thing that he wants. He wants to be so successful. But I don't think he necessarily has to think about being and beating Alabama so much because he's a successful coach already. It's just a mental block for him. It's just a mental thing. Kirby's one of the greatest coaches ever. He's one of the greatest coaches out there right now. And, if one of these days the NFL does call him, I don't think he's going to leave. Kirby is Georgia football for them. And that is his life. And he loves those kids. Great coach. Have nothing but absolutely nothing but respect for Kirby. He brings it to every single game, especially against Alabama. So in this game, split 50-50, and it could go either way. But I think Alabama can win this game by at least a field goal. And I'm going to say they do by at least a field goal. Week after, we have a revenge game. Number 1, we bring in Vandy home. And they get to experience Bryant-Denny like no other. And that place is going to be loud. Everybody's going to be pumped up. Everybody's going to be fired up. I hope the team's fired up because everything that happened last year started in this game last year. We lost to Vandy. Now, you can say what you want about Diego Pavia. I'm not going to say anything bad about the kid. The kid is special. And I mean, he owns the state of Alabama right now. Has beat Auburn twice at Auburn, has beat Alabama once. Now it was in Nashville. He's got a chance to come to Tuscaloosa now. Can he replicate the success he had last year, or has defenses finally figured him out and how this offense runs with him in there? And I think Alabama's defense has something to prove in this game. They're going to be fired up. They're going to be mad. They're going to be going after Pavia. They're going to be going after the ball carriers. That little shuffle pass, I don't think you're going to see that played out much in this game. Then we're going to have somebody that's going to be watching that at all times. And I think this is going to be a different team and a different outcome. I think Alabama wins this one by 17 to 24 points. Sorry, Corey. But revenge games, there's nothing like it. And we have a revenge game here to focus on. And I guarantee this game has been circled on the calendar since that loss last year. Everybody wants to get that credibility back if we can. You lost a ton of credibility last year when you lost to Vandy. Again, Vandy was better. Vandy is getting better. Clark Lee is a great coach, but it's Vandy. And Alabama should not be losing to Vandy. So that sticks in the mind of not only the players, but the fans as well. So the players are going to come out in this game and feel like they've got something to prove to not only the fans, but to themselves. And I think Alabama is going to win this one, like I said, by 17 to 24 points. It's not really going to be close. And I'm going to put the confidence level at about 76% on this game. And it's the first one of two more coming up, revenge games. But after that, and really this one to me, I'm actually concerned about, because the week after that, we have to travel to Missouri, Columbia. And here's another issue in that game. The week after that, we have another revenge game in Tennessee. Another issue number 2, it's at 11 o'clock kickoff. Issue number 3, Missouri replaced a lot of players. So there's a lot of unknowns at this moment with their team. They could be a lot better than they were last year, and they was really good last year, or they could fall off the map this year. Eli Drinkwitz, I think, is a good coach. I think it's a great coach, and I think he's going to keep that train rolling. But it's all a psyche thing here and a mental thing. 11 o'clock kickoffs for Alabama do not play well at all, and they hardly ever do. You also got the revenge factor. You think, are you going to think about the Tennessee game the week after that? Or are you going to focus on this game and win this game to set yourself up for that game to win, a chance to win that revenge game the next week? You've still got to play the game that you have in front of you. And I hope the coaches instill that with the players this year, because it seems like a lot of players and the team last year overlooked certain teams and certain individuals and certain teams, because they're like, oh, we're good, we're going to focus about this one. You can't do that, because anybody can get you in any given week. But Missouri, as of this time, they are kind of unknown. Not sure how the quarterback is going to be, how good they're going to be. It's going to take a little while to get their offense rolling, because there's a lot of new pieces. Luther Burns is not there to bail them out. Brady Cook was an awesome quarterback. He's not there no more. So as of this moment, with all the uncertainty in this game and offensive, with Missouri and their offense with those guys really didn't move the ball much last year. Defense pretty solid. I'm going to put it at 84%, 83%, 84% that Alabama wins, goes into Columbia and wins. And that sets up our second revenge game. Tennessee. Tennessee comes in October 18th. Everybody knows it's the third Saturday in October. Revenge game. Alabama, by all means. And I think a true Tennessee fan will agree with me on this. And I believe Jeb on SEC After Dark has agreed with me as well. I get where you're coming from. Didn't matter because at the end of the day, we didn't win. But Alabama should have won that game. I get it. Alabama had ample opportunity to win that Tennessee game in the first half. You turn the ball over 3 times. You cause Nico to turn it over 3 times on your own side of the field, and we don't even get a field goal out of all 3 drives. We maybe got 1 field goal. You've got to make your opponents pay when they give you the ball and when they make mistakes. We failed to do that. This team this year is not going to do that. I don't feel like Ty Simpson is a different guy. This team has a different edge about them. I don't know what it is, and I talked about this last week a little bit. I love Jalen Milroe, but the kid hindered Alabama in some of these games. I'm not going to blast him because what he did at Alabama, he's a great ambassador for the school, and what he did, especially against LSU, was incredible. And some of the other things that he did, his athleticism is bar none the best I've ever seen. But he needed to make that next step, and he never did, and it kind of hindered us in a few games. This game here, Tennessee's bringing in new quarterback as well, since Nico had a fit and wanted to get paid more. When maybe he didn't deserve it. I'm not going to say, kids want to get more these days. I understand. Everybody wants a paycheck and a pay raise. But kudos to Tennessee for standing up and saying, Jarvis Heupel saying, no, if you want more money, go somewhere else. They stood their ground. I feel like a lot of these institutions is letting the kids mandate all this when they are just playing for the college. They're not, I don't know how this can be addressed, but I think that it's the kids need to respect what is in front of them and be thankful for that. And a lot of kids, I think, have lost that with this NIL and all this going on at this time. But back to this game, I think Alabama wins this game. I think it'll be about like a 10-point game, 10-13. I'm going to put this at a 78% chance, high confidence level that they win in this Tennessee game. Then they go to another tough game at South Carolina. Goodness, it's crazy. South Carolina, it's not going to be, not going to be a slouch. They gave us everything we wanted and more in Tuscaloosa last year. Now we got to go there. Lenore Sellers is an amazing athlete. The kid can ball. If he takes that next step, he's going to be truly incredible this year. But my issue with South Carolina, outside of the North Sellers, they did bring in a really good running back out of the portal, but they have some, they lost a lot of guys on the defensive front. Kennard's gone. I think Stewart's gone as well, or Dylan Stewart, I think. Don't quote me on that, but they lost those 2 guys, and those guys were amazing. So who do they replace that with? Do they have the same pass rush as they did? I think Alabama can go to South Carolina and win. It's going to be tough. I'm going to put it at 60%. I think Alabama can pull it off and win close, but I'm going to put the confidence level at 60%. Then we have LSU coming in. Um, and yeah, that's gonna be a good game. Garrett Nussmeyer, great quarterback. Um, his issue last year was decision making. He made some boneheaded decisions. With him being a veteran quarterback and being a veteran quarterback of this league, I don't think he's going to have that issue this year. I think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the division or in the SEC. And man, I'm telling you, this game right here, LSU can make that next step and go from pretenders to contenders. And I think if Brian Kelly gets out of his own way, they can be legit good this year. I'm going to put the confidence level of this game at 52%. I'm really, it's one of the games I'm worried about. It all depends on how their defense plays. And their defense is still not great. Then Alabama can score and win this game easily. Now they got in Nussmeier's hair last year. We got to do that again defensively. So I feel like Alabama can win. I'm gonna put it at 52%. I may bump that up later on, maybe before the game when I do a preview. But at this time, 52%. Really concerned about this game just because I know how good Nussmeier can be and what he can do, and he can ball, absolute ball. Can the rest of the team ball with him? That's my biggest thing in this game. Then we have revenge game number 3, the final revenge game on the year, and it's Oklahoma. They come into Tuscaloosa, and with it being at home, and they have some new faces as well on their team. John Mateer, great quarterback, really good pickup for them. They got Ott from California to come in and play running back for them. Another great pickup. This offense is going to look a lot better, and I really think Oklahoma's going to be a lot better this year than what they have been in the past. I don't see 6-6 here with this team. I really see at their peak with Mateer coming in and Ott and them two guys clicking, this offense clicking real good. I see a 9-3 season. Alabama, I think at this time, they're still undefeated. They're rolling. They have a lot of momentum, but that momentum can be snatched just like that. You've got to pay attention and focus every single week, like I said earlier. They may struggle in this game, but I really feel like Alabama has something to prove to people this year. What happened last year against Oklahoma? What happened last year against Vandy? Those are flukes. That's not the traditional thing that happens in Alabama. You don't lose to teams, especially Vandy, that you should beat every single year. I'm not saying you should beat Oklahoma, because Oklahoma has been a powerhouse. And we got beat by them in 2014, I think, in the Sugar Bowl. So, we have been beat by them in the past by Bob Stoops. I think Alabama wins this game and wins it pretty handily. I'm going to put the confidence level here at a 75. I'm fairly confident that they get their revenge and go 3-0 in the revenge games this year. Eastern Illinois comes in week after. I don't know anything about Eastern Illinois. I'm just going to say I'm 100% positive Alabama wins this game and wins it fairly easily. We'll probably get guys in late in the second half or the first half through halftime. Third and fourth quarter probably be second and thirds playing the rest of the game. Then the last game of the season, we get to the Iron Bowl. The Iron Bowl this year is at Auburn. They're riding a 6-game losing streak against Bama. Potentially 6-game losing streak, I believe. So Alabama's won the last 5. Now they've gone through Brian Harsin. They've gone through Cadillac for that 1 year, and now they got Hugh Freeze, and Hugh Freeze kind of struggled in the last couple years. Here's the thing about the Iron Bowl. It's crazy. It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. Like I said, it's a rivalry game. But Auburn has issues still, even with the talent that they have gotten the last couple of years under Hugh Freeze. The issue is quarterback. I'm sorry. What happened with Jackson Arnold last year against Alabama? He rushed for over 100 yards. Rushed for 100 yards. He threw for 68 total yards against Alabama. He's going to have to make plays with throwing the ball, and he really didn't do that at Oklahoma last year. Granted, he had all of his top receivers hurt. I understand that. But you still have players out there. You've got to make plays when the plays are there to be made. See, a few years ago, I mentioned earlier when Bryce Young had literally nobody at wide receiver, but he was still throwing darts to Ajay Halls, and they was missing them, and right through the hands. There are plays to be made. You've got to make them, and he's really has not done that with his arm. So Alabama goes down to Voodoo Land, go down to the Indian Burial Ground, go down to that stadium that just needs to be burned to the ground and rebuilt off of that Indian Burial Ground because it's haunted. I'm just saying it's haunted. There's too much weird crap that happens there, especially against whenever Alabama's down there and Georgia for them two teams apparently. Alabama goes down there. Ty Simpson lights them up. Ron Williams lights them up. Jeremy Bernard lights them up. Defense plays lights out. Alabama wins this game in incredible fashion to set up a showdown with either Georgia or a surprise team that I'll mention later when I do maybe like an SEC whole preview. But yeah, I think Alabama, confidence-wise, I'm putting it at a 78% that they go to Auburn, Jordan-Hare, and they win, fairly easily because they still got a lot of question marks on that Auburn team. The biggest question mark is, will Hugh Freeze keep his job at the end of the year? But anyway, guys, that's my little preview to a deeper look for me into the Alabama schedule. Talk about each team. Want to go 30, 35 minutes. I'm right in that range now. It's been fun. If you got any questions or comments, please, leave a comment on the show. I'm going to set this up to premiere here about 8:00 tonight. So I'll see you. I'll put it out, try to get some fillers back on it. But yeah, just let me know something you want to talk about. We'll talk about probably next week's show. We'll probably touch on what Kalen DeBoer and the team had to say at SEC Media Days. And yeah, man, season's here, man. It's getting close. So we got one more month. We got to get through this month, and then it's just football after football after football. And man, I can't wait for it. It's been way too long since we had football. But thank you guys for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. My YouTube channel is Bama After Dark. The picture is like it's like a dark background with it's almost like a sign, billboard sign you see on the interstate, and it's lit up, it says Bama After Dark. Can't miss it. But yeah, got anything you want to talk about, want to share with me, please follow me on Twitter. Right there is my Twitter handle, Bama After Dark. I'm also at Jake Thomas Jake Thomas TTS, I believe. That's my main one, but I'm going to get on Bama After Dark a lot more and start using it to build this channel up as well. So thank you all for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. This has been Jake Thomas from Bama After Dark, and we will see you next week. Thank you.